ngithanda ukunanzelela ukuthi i-department izama ngawo kamandla ukuthi idorobho liklinwe sobona lama activities akade senziwa siyabona imizamo yenziwa i-department but okuseleleyo I think asila mthetho oqinileyo nkosi okunqabela abantu abalahla izinto lesicela ukuthi kube lama fines aqinileyo sibili ukuthi umuntu engabonakala elahla izinto umuntu afayindiswe abomthetho bebekwazi especially abamapholiseni umthetho wangibona sokuhambisa amapholiseni ukuthi hayi thina eze council lingasibonela abantu abalahla izinto bantu bakithi sokule fine engaka eyabantu abachajwa belahla izinto ngoba umthetho wethu awuqinanga ebantwini abalahla izinto abantu balahla izinto random bethemba ukuthi akula mthetho.
Oh, sure.
Thank you, Worship. You worship the residents of exploring couch park in Richmond, are on a daily basis inhaling toxic gases as a result of the smoke that emanates from the landfill, because mine. This challenge continues in spite of numerous efforts of trying to mitigate this health hazard through engaging council. I remember very well residents petitioned council last year. There was almost a stop to this reckless burning for at least 2 months. This clearly indicates council has the capacity to manage the landfill if it so wishes. Sincerely, it is disheartening to witness people's clothes getting dirty on washing lines due to that smoke that engulfs the suburb on almost a daily basis. The smoke can act as a slow poison. I therefore appeal to council to act urgently to deal with this hazardous situation, which puts lives of innocent people at risk. I make this passionate plea to you with worship. Let's act today, not tomorrow. Thank you.
Estibora.
Thank you, Worship. Because your Worship, so the mosquito in the city. Some mosquito is caused by people who are just doing some illegal activities, even closer to this city hall. You know, if you allow people to come and drop and pick people around city hall, I don't know whether they are not able to pay facilities, ablution facilities. They end up using trees and corners and sanitary lanes to relieve themselves, inviting mosquitoes. So my plea is that maybe let's call those guys that were cleaning yesterday, closer even to the city, and clean around here, so that we have our investors that are coming, our Porurube to coming here to, you know, copy. Other cities are coming to copy from Bulawayo. And if they see that we are serious in terms of cleanliness, we will be taken also seriously, like any other clean town throughout the whole world. So what I'm saying, Your Worship, I want to see some action around City Hall here, cleaning the illegal activities around City Hall. Thank you, Your Worship.
Thank you, Councillor Chikora. Are we done with item 2? Are we done with item 2? Councillor Batra, you want to speak to item 2? Item? No, that's fine. Maybe a few, item 3. I just wanted to assist my colleague, Councillor Mchuru, before the chairperson, maybe on a point of order. Because we are aware, unless the committees changed without my knowledge, Councillor Mchuru, the last I checked, when these committees were configured and members were placed in committees, he is, and was then still a member of the Health, Housing and Education Committee. So to then wait for council and not raise, because even as mayor, I expect the committee to give advice to me, and he is a member of that committee. He must go to the committee and advise the chairperson in that committee, and they must come up with strategies. Because for all we know, we have spent a lot of resources in that landfill, trying to put up that fire. We are aware that there are people there who are recycling. We can't say they are there illegally because they are trying to make a living, but they were not put by us there. And obviously, those hazards that are coming up there, the fires that are coming up, maybe as a result of some of those activities. But we thought that the committee can advise this house that they've gone there. These are the strategies that they've come up with to try and put off the fire. What is the status now of the fire? And with the able assistance of Councillor Mju as member of that committee. So I think I thought I should say that members must go to their committees, contribute to their committees, come up with strategies to their committees, and come and advise council. And even the mayor expects to be advised by that committee. Councillor Mju, I hope you will go back to the committee, and as a committee, collectively, come up with a strategy on how we are going to deal with that hazards there, and come and report to us. Thank you. And then Councillor Chabango, the strengthening of bylaws, strengthening of enforcement and so forth. I think what we saw yesterday is testimony of what we can do if all government agencies come together, security forces and so forth. And you are aware that as the local authorities, we don't have arresting powers. Yes, we have bylaws. There's an extent to which we can enforce. When you then raid those vendors and so forth, and you now have to hand over the wares to the license inspectorates, guys in the ZRP, you need the cooperation of all state agencies. Unless and until local authorities are given arresting powers and the municipal courts, which in our view are long overdue, the association has been pushing. And of course, the ministry promised that in the amendments that are coming, we'll have the establishment of these municipal courts and arresting powers for our municipal officers, so that we're able to deal with these vices at a localized level. We advise that these pieces of legislation and many others are still with the Attorney General's office for drafting and so forth. And we are also keeping our eye so that as an association of local authorities and as individual local authorities, through our legal teams, we're able to interrogate and put an input into those legislations, so that at the end of the day, once we have those powers, we'll be able to enforce without necessarily appealing. But we must thank the state security agencies for coming on board and assisting us in the operation that we did yesterday, which we think is not the last, which will continue until we clear our streets so that they are trafficable and we have clean environment, which is the right of all our residents. Thank you. I thought I've answered you. Yes, Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Worship. I think you have answered on behalf of us as a committee. This is very good. Coming to Councillor Chikora, kusazokhala isibhaqo kulabo bephula umthetho edolobheni. Asivuyeli emuva. And sibonile ukuthi hayi uswazi luyafunakala sesidingo olukhulu. Ngoba idolobho kumele libe lidolobho. Abantu kumele bezisebenzele. Laba abafuna ukuzisebenzela balendawo zokuzisebenzela idolobho lizabasiza ubana bazithola. And lusazokhala uswazi. And asoze siyekele nxa uyisigebengu. Sithanda ukubonga Mayor. Vele sile challenge ngama councillors that don't attend committees. They are literally doing disservices to their constituencies. Udaba lwe-Country Parking course besizaluzwa njani ku-committee, imember ye-committee ingekho ibisizosicathamela lapha. Hayi siyabonga Nkosi, singathi ungakhuthaza wonke ama-councillors nje ukuthi abuye kuma-committees, ngoba that's where service delivery is. So siyacela Nkosi siyakubonga Nkosi uba ngusomvubo wama-councillors kahle and uchaye sibili kuzwakale Nkosi abantu bebuye kuma-committees.
But I don't think, Your Worship, the committee is doing enough in the sense that we know cancer is not something which is preventable. But we can only have interventions through our clinics in terms of screening early. We don't seem to see any activities around that to say in our clinics, as City of Bulawayo, we are doing anything towards trying to assist our women folk in terms of just screening and making, we can harness it as early as possible, then people can be assisted, Your Worship. Yeah, and I'm not saying we should have done it just for this month because it's a cancer month, but there's a continuous process. That's my comment around that, Your Worship. Thank you so much.
Yes, yes, Councillor, people must, I think what we must encourage our residents is to voluntarily present themselves for screening. It becomes difficult for, of course, our clinics are primary health, they provide primary health care, and most of the treatment and care maybe they're done at our central hospitals and other private hospitals that we have, those oncology centers that may be in Bulawayo or outside Bulawayo in the country. But what is very important, what we must encourage, women in particular, and even all other age groups, for any other ailments, is to voluntarily present ourselves for this screening, for this testing, where testing is required, and for any other detection. Because early detection helps for, of course, we take note. I hope the committee will assist us in terms of, but we have teams, I think, those health promoters who go around promoting, I'm not a member of the committee, but I know some of these things. Okay. Promoting and informing people to actually timely present themselves for these checkups. But I thank you for the concern that you raise, so that we have a healthy city, and the healthy city is a productive city. Thank you very much. Councillor Moore, item? Yes, there's before that you, so it's 12, right? Yes.
Thank you. We shall do item 4 concerning the satellite clinic on Kanye. I want to give this house the update. The first initial plan was to construct a clinic in the CTF. But immediately in Asakwan, and I'm a resident, I want to update to this house. I'm a resident, actually, in Netis. I say, but I'm 10 plans per household, which is a success. But any concern, I'm with the clinic, the 4 rooms for in the Nkulenga in Kanwin, and which is still growing.
It's a site.
So, the local department is not the same in Kanwin because I think the abantu kumele siqhakathekise ihambe phambili lokuthi maybe is it town planning, is it maybe plan it expansion emganwini ikhangela ama such amenities ukuthi kuhambelana population nama amenities, social amenities akhona emganwini. So that's my contribution ukuthi singaphombu expand emganwini but singayi kwela social amenities ahambelana le growing population. Ama social amenities include ukuthi asili library, asila revenue hall, clinic esiyenziwa at 4 rooms. Le mali yakhona ivela ku CDF ndama 10 rand ezakhamizi nama donations. Akula park, so it's a sad situation sile emgangeni ukuthi cela ukuthi sikhangele igrowth vis-a-vis ama social amenities.
Thank you for raising your complaints in this council. Because normally complaints don't come here, and we think that as a councillor for Bulawayo, when we come here, we are making policies for Bulawayo. You see, sometimes some of us get concerned about. Sometimes some of us get concerned about Card Park when we don't even stay there. But we take note that there are not enough amenities. But we are happy that residents are taking a keen interest in this development of their ward. That is governance. See, governance means that we must be inclusive in our approach. So that's good that if residents are taking a keen interest in the development of their area. Councillor Moy, thank you very much. Move that one. Councillor Batrayos.
Thank you, Worship. On item 15, firstly, I want to thank the TTI for the donations which they make. For the donations which they make to several groupings, which include the elderly and the disadvantaged. Okay.
So that, for the benefit of other members.
Okay. I'm saying I want to thank TTI for the donations they make to several citizens of this city. However, I want to advise them to put more concentration on the parking issue rather than donations. Remember, they promised us world-class parking, but up to now, we haven't seen anything tangible on the ground. So I urge them to move faster so that we see the world-class parking which they promised us.
I would want also to add my voice on the good work which was done by the TTI parking system or company. However, I must point out that in future, us as councillors, we are community leaders, together with the resident association in our wards. We expect to be advised or to be part of such important gatherings when such things are happening. In my ward, I just heard it as news, even the resident association, that there was a function where TTI was donating foodstuffs. In most cases, it raises a lot of questions in the community. Why key community stakeholders are not informed in a particular ward when such important things are happening? So we expect that in future such kind of things are corrected, and councillors or resident association or key community stakeholders are informed so that they come and witness and be part of that. Thank you, Worship.
Thank you. It's very important that Councillor Batrai raises that issue that, of course, everyone who is operating within the sphere of the city is supposed to plow back to the community. Of course, we don't expect them to forget their core business. I think that's given. I don't think anyone needs to be reminded that when you come to do quarry and you then give free quarry to the community, you then forget that you must do your core business and so forth. I think it's something that is, but in terms of the stakeholder participation, how are people selected and so forth, I think we have social workers that we employ. And they are there in each and every district. And the councillors work from those districts, those district offices. And if they have complaints, really, if they know of some other people who are eligible and they are not in the schedule of the social worker for the district concerned, I mean, it's up to us as councillors we know the families that maybe the social worker may, but sometimes I always speak up what voluntarily presenting yourself. Sometimes you present yourself to those district offices, and by the way, those people cannot present themselves because we don't expect someone disabled and so forth to present themselves. The councillor must alert the social worker in the district concerned, so that we have all those who are underprivileged benefiting from these charitable works or these community social responsibilities from those who are working, those companies and partners working within the communities. Yes, Councillor Chikora.
Thank you. say that maybe we should also extend our hand to all the partners to come on board and do like other companies that we are mentioning here. We have several friends, several companies that have benefited from servicing with the city. So I want to say, please come, do like what others are doing. Come and assist. But from our hearts, let's have a list of these people well before, because I'm looking at a situation where people hear that there are groceries, free groceries there, and then there will be a stampede of people coming to want to benefit. But if we have lists, even without any invitation of any donation, like you have correctly indicated, Your Worship, this list, let us forward these names to the social officers so that they have a list that will then benefit. And even in your program, Christmas is coming. But if you say, hey, Mayor will be donating next week, you sort of invite people, then you have multitudes coming. And maybe sometimes those that are supposed to benefit will then be, not benefit because the numbers are so big. But the real needy people, let's have list word by word, and we give them to the social workers. And when such programs come, they benefit.
Deputy Mayor.
Thank you. I'm responding on behalf of the committee. Your Worship, we encourage councillors to work with their social welfare people. Because imagine the time I start naming the political connotations that come with that, it is very, very dangerous. We've got social welfare workers that are trained. Vetting that is being used by trained people. Not saying what are trained, but there are people who are trained to do that, so that there is fair distribution on this thing. What we are running away from is the use of underprivileged people for certain agendas. So this is what we are trying to manage. Coming to TTI donation, we actually ask all partners to come and assist us on this one. And this is a social welfare issue. This is a social welfare agenda. This is a social welfare issue. It has got nothing to do with world-class parking out there. There are departments that are put in place and the workers that are put in place to monitor the world-class issues. This committee deals with the donations that goes to underprivileged people. So as if ukuthi sobuya lapha sothi sithi umuntu umtholele khona apha somchaya kusaso zasinichisa ama donations.
Item 15.
16. Cows at Gami Agriculture. Your Worship, ngizathanda ukuthi ngikhuze especially ama-residents namanye ama-businesses that have a bad tendency of uthatha.
Oh, you are just committing?
No, I'm not in the committee.
Oh, okay. Oh, by the way, you are in business.
Yeah.
Town planning, okay.
Yes, ukuthi ngikhuze especially ama-business premises, especially ama-restaurant, lama-bottle stores that have a bad tendency of ukulahlela izibi zabo egangeni. Izibi lezi kumele bezinanzelele ukuthi nxa bezilahlela egangeni babulala izifuyo zabantu, because izifuyo zabantu zishuka zigcine zisidla lawa amaplastiki. Yikho sinanzelela ukuthi okulithole okukodwa okwesithi council ngokudla amaplastiki lawa alahlwa ngama-businesses ugcine kusifa. So ikukhuza nje izakhamizi ukuthi bakithi asekele nini into enjalo. Ngicele futhi la ku committee ukuthi sinanzelele recent weeks be cleaner i-city kuhle, siyakubonga kuyi-program lokho abakwenzileyo, but likhangele futhi especially kuma-peri urban areas zonezi ezifana nalekami. Siyananzelela ukuthi sincelane nama-farms ekhansilini
lama farmers khona ngale sicelana ukuthi kungakuyenzeka iprogram yento yokucleana icity yethu ifike especially kuma inroads that are leading to the city siyabona 16
esikolo sethu ngale esifundisa khona abantwana ukulima ngale
hayi but
okay
ngicela umncede nje member ye-committee ngicela umncede nje member ye-committee
cause of death yeah
but
I know he's a farmer so he's
can I respond?
Yes.
Thank you, Worship. As the alternate chairperson of the Housing Committee, we appreciate the
No, you can't give yourself. The chairperson, you can't. No, we can't allow you.
Okay.
Can't allow you to give yourself positions.
Because what we are saying,
we can't allow him to.
All right, I withdraw that position.
You are just a member of the committee.
I'm just a member. We appreciate the contribution of Councillor Usba. But what we need, we must encourage our people to be smart and properly dispose e-waste. But isikolo lesi singale where there's some peri-urban farming, some urban agriculture. In urban agriculture policy, we don't have a policy of open grazing. Yokuthi inkomo zenu zihamba zisidla nje. Ingane kusiphoso letholoto. Inkomo, including ezethu as council, we must put a fence in our school. We must put a fence in our small plots and keep our cattle in those schools, in those enclosed areas. As because any land that is that side belongs to someone or is for a certain purpose. So ungabona says Puma kuloti number 1. Says number 2, says so I'm saying as a member of the committee, we must encourage our people to clean 100%, but we must encourage our people to keep their animals in enclosed. You could when you speak donkeys and the keki causes accidents in Bulawayo because we just allow people to sing komengani kusecholocho. Inkomo zedoropo ezituze ledoropo ziyabiyelwa zidla phakathi. Ngiyabonga.
Thank you. I think you answered, Councillor. We don't expect any second bite to the chair anyway. But I think this is a policy. You're a policymaker, and I think you've been responded to through a policy. As policymakers, we must enforce. But this is a policy, unfortunately. Yes, let's proceed. I don't think there are any other interventions on this report. Thank you.